So today we're going to talk about how visiting the sick could be advantageous for the visitor as well as for the sick. So today I visited one of my friends that was in the hospital, and that's how I got the idea of talking how important is this. I feel very, very much inspired by this experience, and I want to encourage everyone to do it. So first, for the sick. It's an emotional support. It provides comfort, reduces the feelings of isolation, and boosts their morale, right? They have the chance to talk about their story, their sufferings, and also have a witness of their pain. Just having someone there, it makes so much the difference. So when I went and I visited my friend, I actually tried to make a couple of light jokes about, I don't know, like how we could be even family. I don't know, it was trying to just hype her a little bit about her pain and distract her a little bit. So the second thing is the spiritual encouragement. So for people of faith, like actually we both are, so it can strengthen our spiritual bond, right? And also we actually finish praying together and talking about, for example, how she can offer her sufferings for some of the causes that she's rooting for, because she has many causes she's actively supporting in the community. And she also had a very pretty answer about that, and she says that she just give everything to the Virgin Mary, and she just can do what she wants with this suffering that she's having currently. So that's also very beautiful. So the third benefit for the one who's sick is the motivation to recover. A caring visit can inspire hope and encourage them to focus on recovery. And for example, in my case, I bring her a little plant, and I thought, hey, I bet everyone gives her flowers that can just die, and I just want to give her hope, right? That she's gonna get better, and then maybe a tiny task, just put a little bit of water. And actually, it's one of these plants that you don't need really to water, but like to see the plant growing. Sometimes when you take care of something else, I feel like you care about you. So and then I give it to her and say, you have to water it a little bit. And then I think it's just something tiny that you can do for someone else. But yeah, just it's not big for us to put water in a plant, but for someone who is sick, it's like a lot. So that can be not that great, but I thought it was cute, and also the plant doesn't need that much water anyway. So the fourth advantage for the sick is that they can have some practical assistance. Someone who is there already can help you with the small tasks or errands that for us is nothing, but for them is like a big struggle, and not waiting for the nurse to come, right? So in our case, she was so independent, and the nurse was there in a tiny time, but she needed like a wipe for her hands, and then I just stand up and I grab it. But for her, standing up and grabbing it, asking for it, it will be like, no, it will take a long time. So that is good that I could be there just at least for that wipe. And it's nothing for me, right? And for us, that we can move and we can stand up and sit down, everything. So now the advantage for the visitors. It produces some spiritual growth. Like there's no way you go and visit your friend who is sick and you don't feel about the meaning of life, the purpose of life, and Also, we fulfill the corporal work of mercy, of visiting the sick, and also strengthen our compassion, empathy, and our faith too, because we see how much thankful we are for all that we have, and also seeing the good of God through the sick, because you and then there's this passage of Matthew, like, because you gave me food and when I was hungry, when you give me shelter when I was cold. That's something that God tells us to do, because he is in each of the persons that he's needing our help, and we need to help them as we will do for himself. So, and that is a way of loving God through our neighbor. So this is just so great that we could do that. And yes, even more if it's for someone that you really, really, truly care. Even if it's for someone you don't know, it really makes a difference in both lives, So the second advantage for the visitor is that strengthen the relationship among us. So I feel now I'm closer to her because I have seen her in her weakest point, but also you are thankful of the company that you can get when you cannot go out, right? So yeah, for me it really strengthened my friendship that I have with her, and it demonstrates that I really do care of her. I hope it shows that I really like her, and I really love her as my neighbor, and I really deep her admire her as a warrior of God. So the third advantage is that it changes our perspective on life. Like for the one who is not sick, it reminds us that the life is very fragile, and we, as I mentioned before, it really makes us thankful of the basics, right? Because right now we have all those things and our basics, like just being able to stand up, to eat by yourself, and it's something that we have for granted. But just the fact that you see that, oh, this person is lacking, I should be thankful. I don't know, it's very strong. It's a strong feeling, and deepens our gratefulness for what we have, our health, but also our capabilities. And yeah, this is spread the word of how blessed we are, because now, for example, I want to tell everyone, like, hey, you should really do it if you have a grandparent who needs, or even though they don't really need you, just go for it and try to make their afternoon easier, right? Because these things are not going to be here in the future. Well, let's not take them from granted all the time, right? At least for that hour that you're sharing with the other, you remind yourself how young and how much thanks you have. Just your body is young, so you can go and do and work for the kingdom. I always come back to the kingdom. So the fourth thing that is an advantage for the visitor is the opportunities for service, right? It provides us the chance to live out of love and kindness through tangible actions. So it's like, just with pass her that wipe, I felt it so deeply. It's like, wow, this is so basic, and it really gives me the opportunity to just serve with my own body and my own presence there. And for example, in my case, which I was not planning at all, she was a little bit upset because she was not able to do the rosary. She has tried, but she was so tired and sick, like she was so weak. And I'm like, oh, well, it's perfect. I have not done the rosary. You want me to do it with you? And she said, like, do it you, and I would say mentally. But she was holding the beads and like moving the beads. I'm like, and when I say something that was not correct, because I'm still learning too, she will correct me, go ahead and correct me. But like, it was just so simple for me to do the rosary, and I did it in Latin because I know she likes it and me too. So it's like also what I say about the bonding in faith. It was just so pretty to be able to do it together, and for me it didn't cost anything, and I know for her it was a good thing that I could do the rosary with her and for her as well. I was of course praying for her, for all the family and friends, but it definitely I can see how I could be of service of the other, and that really makes me very happy. And I know this will make you happy if you do it. Please go and visit the sick, the old, the one who can not do things by themselves, right? And also there is a plus, there is some community impact. Well, first of all, it promotes the unity of the community. Definitely, she told me that on Sunday a lot of people from our church visit her, even so that the nurses were saying, oh, who's this lady that everyone is visiting. And I feel that's very pretty. Like, it makes us bond among us too, because now we know that we are so strong too through this thing that happened to her. So it strengthens the bonds by showing a mutual care and responsibility among all of the parties in the community, right? Also encourage others, like just the fact that I went and then someone else went, encourage more people to go and to be aware that this is something that we can be doing for her or for other persons too. It's just like a good thing that spreads out, like, and then people is aware how easy it is for us right now to do it, and then I'm sure they will have it in their mind and do it very soon. So it inspires a culture of kindness, of service with our families, parishes and communities. And well, as I said before, it really aligns with the teachings of Christ, of love and compassion. And that passage is actually Matthew 25 to 36. I was sick and you visit me. It is a very powerful passage, so if you don't mind, I could share with you. Hi, well, this passage starts in Matthew 25 31 to 30 something. So it says, when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. Before him will be gathered all the nations, and he will separate people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will place the sheep on his right, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? And when did we see you a stranger and welcome you naked and clothed you? When did we see you sick, in prison, and visit you? And the king will answer them, truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the last of these my brothers, you did it to me. And then he will refer to the other ones in the left, not as kindly or as nice, but as we see here, what we do to our brothers and sisters, it will be our grace in heaven. So please, everyone, be kind to the others and try to do the works of mercy, and take care. Right? Bye bye.